Welcome, my dear student, in our math program for secondary 3. Today we are taking the second lesson in calculus differentiation. What is the title? Differentiation of implicit and parametric function. Implicit and parametric differentiation. Dear student, the second lesson in calculus differentiation is called implicit and parametric differentiation. What do you mean? Implicit function. Y equal f of x is an explicit function. If determine the value of y directly. Whenever the value of x is unknown, such as y equal 4x squared minus 5x plus 2. Y equals 4x squared minus 5x plus 2. Y dash or dy by dx equals 8x minus 5. Y equal sine multiply bracket 2x plus 3. Y dash is 2 cosine 2x plus 3. But if y related to variable x with an equation containing x and y together as xy plus y minus 4 equals 0. Look at xy plus y negative 4 equals 0. We find or we take highest common factor, first term plus second term is y. Look at x squared plus y squared negative 9 equals 0. Each equation defined an placed function between x and y. Note that. Dear student, the equation xy plus y minus 4 equals 0 can be written in the form y multiply bracket x plus 1 equals 4. Why? Because look at the first and second term xy plus y. Take y common factor and y multiply bracket contains x plus 1 equals 4. What you mean? Y equals 4 over x plus 1. The first equation xy plus y minus 4 equals 0, x is joined with y. The second y equals 4 over x plus 1. Y in left hand side, x variable in second or in right hand side. In this, x not equals x negative 1, not equal negative 1. Why? Because 4 over x plus 1, if x equals negative 1, the function is undefined. In this case, implicit relation is defined as explicit function. Dear student, in this case, implicit relation is defined as explicit function. The equation x squared plus y squared equals 9. What you mean? This equation of circle, equation of a circle. Its center is origin point 0, 0. And the radius is 3 square root 9. Remember, equation of the circle we were studied in the last year. X squared plus 2ax plus 2by plus y squared equal r squared. R squared in this equation equals 9. Then r equals positive or negative root 9 is positive or negative 3. R equals 3 only, not equal negative 3, because r is radius is length, is positive only. Then equation x squared plus y squared equals 9 is equation of a circle. What is the center? Excellent student, 0, 0 or origin point. What is the radius? Excellent student, square root 9 is 3 unit. Look at, dear student, this equation of the circle. We represent it by graph circle represented by a circle. Its radius is 3. Look at, from testing the vertical line, we note that relation x squared plus y squared equals 9 doesn't represent function, but y squared equal 9 minus x squared, y equals positive or negative square root 9 minus x squared. We have two roots, positive or negative. The implicit function number 1, y equals square root 9 minus x squared. Its domain, yes, negative 3, 3. What do you mean its domain? X student. Domain means what is the value of x. In this case, x belongs to closed interval. Negative 3, 3. Its domain. What is the range? X and student 0, 3. In this case, when y square root positive square root 9 minus x squared, when substitution about x equal negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, so 3. Answer is, or the interval is closed interval 0, 3. The smallest value is 0. The maximum value is 3. But when y and its derivative 4x belongs to negative 3, 3 open interval. Why? Because x, when x equals negative 3, function equals 0. X equals 3, also function equals 0. Second case, y equals negative square root 9 minus x squared. What is the domain? X and student, negative 3, 3. What is the range? Negative 3, 0. Look at, dear student, when substitution about x equals negative 3 to 3, the range, the smallest number, negative 3. Yes, the greatest number is 0. Then the range is closed number, negative 3, 0. This function is derivative for x belongs open interval negative 3, 3. Dear student, now we are translate to example. Find dy over dx if x power 3 plus y power 2 negative 7x plus 5y equals 8. Solution. Dear student, we have y equals, when we find dy by dx, 3x power 2 plus 2y multiply dy over dx, negative 7 plus 5 dy over dx equals what? Equals 0. Left hand side, x power 3. What is the derivative? 3x power 2. Y power 2, 2y dy by dx, negative 7 plus 5 dy over dx, right hand side equals 0. Look at dear student. We have dy over dx, highest common factor. When we find dy over dx, what you deduce? Yes, we write dy over dx, multiply bracket 2i plus 5 left hand side, right hand side 7 plus negative 3x squared. After that, we find dy over dx equal 3 equal 7 minus 3x power 2 over dy 2y plus 5. Then dy over dx equals what? 7 minus 3x power 2 over 2y plus 5. f3xy plus y power 2 equal x minus 7. Find dy over dx. Dear student, very important example. If we have 3xy plus y squared left hand side equals right hand side x minus 7. Deduce dy over dx. Look at dear student. By derivative, two sides equation respect to x. Find dy by dx. Therefore, d by dx, the first 3xy plus 2y dy by dx equals 2x. Remember, what is the derivative of 3xy? Excellent student. The first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. Answer is 3x dy over dx plus y times 3 plus 2y dy over dx equals 2x. In this case, dear student, dy over dx multiply 3x plus 2y equal 2x minus 3y. We find dy by dx by divided by 2x minus 3y over 3x plus 2y. Look at another example. Find dy over dx if sine 2y equals y cosine 3x. Remember, dear student, sine 2y left hand side, right hand side y cosine 3x. What is the required? Find dy over dx. Look at solution. By derivative, both sides of the equation respect to x. D over dx left hand side equal d over dx right hand side. What is the derivative of sine 2x? Excellent student, 2 cosine 2y. Look at the differentiation respect to x. When we find derivative of y, we find dy over dx. What is the derivative of y? Cosine 3x. On right hand side, we find derivative of product of two functions. The first y, the second cosine 3x. Look at, dear student, solution is cosine 2y multiply 2 times dy over dx, left hand side, right hand side y multiply negative sine 3x multiply 3. Therefore, plus cosine 3x times dy over dx. We find dy over dx multiply bracket contains 2 cosine 2y plus cosine 3x equals negative 3y sine 3x. Look at dear student, the required dy by dx divided each side by bracket contains 2 cosine 2y plus cosine 3x. Then dy by dx equals negative 3y sine 3x over cosine 3x negative 2 cosine 2y. Remember, dear student, right hand side is negative. In denominator is we take negative highest common factor and simplify negative with negative. Answer is dy over dx is 3y sine x in numerator over cosine 3x minus 2 cosine 2y in denominator. Dear student, look at another example. Find dy over dx if tan 2x plus cotan y equal xy respect to x. Look at the solution. By derivative both sides of the equation with respect to x. Dear student, look at left hand side. Left hand side we find differentiation d over dx tan 2x plus differentiation d by dx cotan y equals differentiation of right hand side xy. Remember, dear student, we have left hand side sum of two functions, right hand side product of two functions. We have two rules, left hand side sum, right hand side product. Left hand side we find each term, differentiation of each term, but right hand side, we find d over dx, product of two functions, first derivative second plus second derivative first. Then the first is 2 sec squared 2x minus cosec power 2y, remember dy over dx, equals right hand side first derivative second plus second derivative first. First is x, derivative of y dy by dx, plus second is y, derivative the first dx over dx is 1. Therefore, dear student, we deduce that dy over dx by highest common factor multiply bracket contains x plus cosec power 2y equals 2 sec power 2x minus y. After that, we divided each term by x cosec power 2y, then dy over dx equals what? 2 sec power 2x minus y over x plus cosec power 2y. Now we are translate to another title, is called parametric differentiation. What do you mean of subparametric differentiation? Dear student, fy f of t, z g of t, therefore f and g have same domain, and the two equations together represent an equation 2-1 curve expressed in the parametric form. What is the parametric? Dy over dx equal dy over dt times what? X, and student dt over dx. Remember, dear student, we have y function in t and the x function in t. When we find dy by dx, we find dy by dt multiply dt over dx. Left hand side dy over dx. Right hand side dy over dt multiply dt over dx equals dy over dt divided d what? X, and student dx over dt multiply dt over dx means divided dx over dt. What do you mean, dear student? Dy over dx. At the first, we find differentiation of y respect to t of the first. After that, we find differentiation of the second x respect to t. After that, divided the first dy over dt by the second dx over dt. We deduce the dy over dx. Remember, f and g are two differentiate functions with respect to t. Look at two important examples. Dear student, find dy over dx if x equal 5t plus 3 and y 16t squared plus 9. Remember, dear student, the first function x is variable, second variable t, respect to t. Second y, respect to t. What do you deduce? We find dx over dt and dy over dt. After that, we divided dy over dt by dx over dt. We deduce dy by dx. Remember, we find dy over dx at t equals 5. Remember, dear student, at the first solution, we find dy over dt. What is the y? What is the x? 5t plus 3. dy over dt equal 5. dx over dt equal 5. y 16t squared plus 9. dy over dt equal 32t. Then, dear student, dy over dx equals what? dy over dt, yes, multiply dt over dx, or dy over dt divided dx over dt, the same 32t over 5 by substitution about t equals 5. Therefore, dy over dx at t equals 5 equal 32. Why? Because 32 times 5 over 5 is 32. Then, remember, dear student, when we find dy over dx, at the first we find dy over dt, after that we find dt over dx, after that we multiply dy over dt multiply dt over dx. What is the answer of dy over dt? 32t. What is the answer of dx over dt? Equals 5. Then by substitution about t equal 5, answer is equals 32. Now we are translating the student to important example. If x equals 3 cosine 2 theta, y equal 4 sine 3 theta, find dy over dx at theta equals what? Pi over 4. What you mean pi over 4? 45 degrees. Look at the solution. When x equals 3 cosine 2 theta, what is the dx over dt? dy over d theta, we find 3x minus sine 2 theta times 2. dy over d theta, negative 6 sine 2 theta. Since y equal 4 sine 3 theta, dy over d theta, 4 times 3, 12 cosine 3 theta. We find dy over dx equals dy over d theta multiply what? d theta over dx, or divided dx over d theta. Then what is the meaning of dy over d theta? Multiply d theta over dx equal negative 2 cosine 3 theta over sine 2 theta by deduce. Remember, theta equals what? Pi over 4. Then dy over d theta equals square root 2. Why? Theta by substitution about theta equals pi over 4. 3 times 45, 135. 2 theta, 2 times 45 equal 90 degrees. Then we find cosine 135 over sine 90. Answer is root 2. Then dy by dx when theta equals pi over 4 is equals root 2. Now, dear student, translate to another example. Find the derivative of 4x power 3 minus 9x power 2 plus 5 inside bracket respect to 3x squared plus 7. Remember, dear student, this example is very important. What is the required derivative of function is 4x power 3 minus 9x squared plus 5 respect to 3x squared plus 7. Solution. Dear student, by putting y equals 4x power 3 minus 9x squared plus 5 and z equals 3x squared plus 7. Remember, dear student, we find derivative of the first function respect to the second function. What you mean? Derivative dy over dz. Excellent student. You must understand when we find derivative of 4x squared power 3 minus 9x squared plus 5 respect to function 3x squared plus 7, putting y equals first function and z equals second function, and we find derivative of y respect to, yes, z. The required is dy by dz. Look at y equal f of x, z equals g of x, then dy over dz equals what? X and student, y dash over z dash, or dy by dx divided dz over dx. What is the dy over dx? 12x squared minus 18x. What is the dz over dx or z dash equals 6x by using highest common factor. Therefore, dy over dz, 6x multiplied bracket contains 2x minus 3 over 6x. Therefore, dy over dz equal 2x minus 3. This is a very important lesson. Dear student, when we find derivative of 4x power 3 minus 9x power 2 plus 5 respect to 3x squared plus 7, at the first we putting 4x power 3 minus 9x power 2 plus 5 equals y. After that, we find dy over dx equal 12x squared minus 18x, only 5, derivative of 5 is 0. Why? Because 5 is constant. After that, we put z equal 3x squared plus 7. After that, we find dz over dx. What you mean of dz over dx? Look at when z equals 3x squared plus 7, then z function in x. We find dz over dx by 6x only. Why? Because derivative of 7 is 0. Therefore, when we find derivative respect to 3x power 2 plus 7 of what function contains 4x power 3 minus 9x squared plus 5, we find derivative of dy over dx multiply what? Dx over dz. Excellent student. After that, answer is 2x minus 3. Remember, d over dx respect to 3x squared plus 7 of function 4x power 3 minus 9 x power 2 plus 5. As example, d over dx over y over z or y or any capital letter. We find derivative of inside bracket 4x power 3 minus 9x power 2 plus 5. And putting y equals z equal. Y equals what? Yes, 4x power 3 minus x power 2 plus 5. Z equals what? 3x power 2 plus z. dy over dx means dy over dz multiply dz over dx. Then the final answer, d over d times 3x power 2 plus 7 or respect to 3x power 2 plus 7 of function contains 4x3 minus 9x power 2 plus 5 equals 2x minus 3. This is a very important example. Dear student, I am very happy to spend such time with you. Remember, math, simple, think, work, produce. Goodbye.